Hi, Steve here from Verse 78. We've got the great pleasure today to be down here at Hydraulic Projects down in Dawlish. And we're here with Paul Vicarage to have a look at some of the fantastic solutions they've found to improve their multi-part work handling. Good morning, Paul. Good to see you.
Very good. How are you?
Good, thank you.
Fantastic.
Would you better tell me a little bit about Hydraulic Projects, who they are, what you do?
So Hydraulic Projects was founded around about the 1950s. We make hydraulic valves and hydraulic pumps. So we have a large customer base across the world, really, especially for our hydraulic pumps, as much as the hydraulic valves. So a lot of the steering systems that you see on the yachts are all manufactured here in Dawlish. They get transported across the world. Lots of the big names out there that have steering systems that we produce for. All the way through to the valve side of the business. So there's two real distinct sides that we manufacture for. And the valves go on everything from loaders to farm machinery, wood chippers. There's a whole market out there that take our hydraulic kits, which is absolutely brilliant, And we've started off at a very small site just over the road, and then very slowly we bought more of the site. We've now got to the point where we've got around about 40 members of staff. But the great thing is that we buy in around about 15% of what we actually send out. The rest of it is all manufactured here in site. So we take it from raw billets, raw castings, put it through the machine shop. We have a lathe side next door as well. That all then gets put through various honing and grinding processes. That's then washed, assembled, tested, painted, put on a board, is shipped out to customers. So we are sort of running at around about the £3-4 million mark every year at the moment. And businesses for us in the last 2 or 3 years really started to pick up, which is fantastic. But because of that, we then need to be able to up the manufacturing output from the machine shop. So it's been really important over the last sort of 10 years process of understanding what maximum capacity we need to be able to achieve to feed what is the assembly monster, I suppose you would call it.
Yeah.
As they require more parts and more parts to come through the system. So being able to take one Akuma, which we had this one here in the last 10 years, and being able to adapt it and evolve it. I guess the key for us is understanding what it is we need to be able to machine out of it. And then being able to come to yourselves over the last 10 years and say, this is the next project, this is what we then require. Been able to then see those solutions and ideas all come together, starting off with a single chick system at the very early days, moving into two not long after. Now we've got two Akuma machines, we're running at 6 of them. We've even got one spare that's going to be used in the next sort of 6 months with the next project. And that's allowed us then to really increase our productivity, because rather than machining 2 or 3 parts per pallet on a 10 pallet machine, we can be anywhere from 4 all the way up to 60. So we've got quite a spread of how much we can actually put through. And it means that the guys can concentrate on putting the pallet together, taking off the old, putting on the new, running through their main checks. They can get that machine loaded up with around about 250 parts a night, running over 10 pallets. And it allows us to run pretty much lights out continuously. So we are getting 5.5, 6 days worth of machining for around about 4.5 days worth of inputs whilst we're here on site. So it allows us loads of flexibility.
Yeah, that's really good. And so you've taken multi-part work handling to probably an nth degree, because the materials you're machining as well, it's not just aluminium, is it? You're actually machining quite a hard cast iron as well.
Cast iron.
In some of the chick units. So you've got that really good 7000 series aluminium jaw and tick that you're actually holding quite an abrasive material in there and still machining them at a good rate, aren't you?
It is. And the nice thing is as well is that all we need to do is take off your 4 sides, switch out the aluminium fixturing, put your cast iron fixturing in, which is an aluminium base, put that straight on, put your parts on, add that program to assign to go with that particular pallet, and away you go. So I haven't got to go and take one whole fixturing system off and put another fixturing system on. I can literally just take the 4 sides off, which is about a 6-minute process, start to finish, making sure that it's clean and it's all stored away. And the units are only so big. So for us, we could hold, as we do, 15 or 20 versions of different parts that we make, and it doesn't take up any space, really. So we can put those in, take them out, and it's nice and quick and simple. It's more flexible than having a stainless steel or a steel fixturing, which you machine your various holes and pockets and things into, which of course has its place, but it does allow us with this type of fixturing to switch and change very quickly from one unit to the next. So it's really, really useful like that.
Yeah, thank you, Paul. That's really insightful and informative of what you're actually doing here now. Is it possible we could now possibly go and have a look at some of those examples?
Absolutely, yeah. I can walk you through the systems that we use and show you how easy they are to operate. And
brilliant. Let's go for it.
Yeah, absolutely. For us, this is really typical of what we would use the system for.
Yeah.
So this stays like this for most of the time as we run it. But it's a really easy system to use. We're just loading your blanks in 2 locations. So it's really quick and simple. There's a simple Allen key, just unlocks 3 of the clamps. You've got your stops at either end. Everything pushes against each other, holds it into place. So we can very quickly put in and take out your finished parts and your billets as you're running. It's brilliant because once you've taken this all down, you've given it a quick blow off, you can put those back on really, really quickly. We operate a system where we just run a clamp down the side and we just use that to locate as you're running. And we actually put these in without machining any of the outside. So they go in as a extruded blank billet. So we have a little bit of variation from each part, but that doesn't bother the system, doesn't bother the machine, and we get really nice repeatability. And then for us, really easily, what we can then do, so I'll show you, is just and that's your 2 parts out.
Yeah, so that's really good. So you've utilised the faceplate on this one.
Yes.
With the uniform spamps, the Mighty Might uniform spamps.
Absolutely.
So rather than having just a standard vice type action,
yes,
utilising the faceplate and then designing where you're going to sit your clamps, you can clamp a huge amount of components in there.
And very quickly, you see, once you've imagining these were your blank billets, you got your 2 blank billets in, you put your stop up, find your position, and for us, it's loaded again.
Done.
Little tap back, and you're ready to machine the next batch. So we can get through with us. We're running 12 of these per site, or 12 of these half finished and 12 fully finished. So we can run a whole week's worth of work in around about 8 hours.
With these jobs and the faceplates with check and stuff like that, how easy is it to swap between jobs?
Well, for us, it's really important for that is a really quick, seamless process. So the main fixture that everything's attached to is your aluminium base plates that you have here, and then you've got the main base unit, which is your steel unit in behind. So very, very easily, the guys with a couple of turns, you've then got that whole unit straight off. Obviously, normally we would have all of the parts removed from the unit first, but we can take that off, put that into storage, and bring out the replacement unit. And the great thing is that with your location pins and your location pins inside and your 2 nozzles, you can very easily put that straight back on again. Couple of turns, make sure it's tight, and that is your fixture ready to go again.
Yeah.
So we can take this row of parts off and any other faces, so we can interlock certain stations to only do certain faces. We can take those straight off, put the next unit straight back on again, attach the right program to that pallet. The datum is already set. You've got full confidence, close that door, push go, and that machine will start to run that program very, very easily.
And that's testament really now, because as you said, this one is one of the originals, so it's about 15 years old, isn't it?
It is.
So you're still removing the plates, putting them back on. You don't need the clock in.
No.
So 15 years of full production, 6.5 days a week, really, isn't it?
Yes.
So it's
and it's a part that we run on this particular unit every single day. So it's not a part that we only run certain numbers of the weeks of the year. It's run every single day as part of our production. It's one of the biggest used items over in the assembly area. So to be able to switch and change between the various different types that fulfill that role in the assembly, we need to be able to very quickly change that over. So we can have somebody come in who has an engineering understanding and be able to quite easily show them how you take your fixturing off, how you put your fixturing on. And for us, it's really important because We always have face 0 at the front, donated by the tooth, and that always comes to us at the rear as we open the door. We then put the white tab at the front, so we always know this is facing forward. So if anybody gets themselves a little bit confused as to where you are when you're reloading the fixturing, you just literally look at the top and say, right, that's face 0. Every single one of these have your engraving on the top, so we know exactly which face that goes into. And what we also have for us personally, we engrave the backs of these because that allows us to actually see which type of part that is to be manufactured, because they all look quite similar to the untrained eye. But we can have somebody come in with engineering understanding and start to teach them how to actually operate the machine to its full potential, because everything, as you see, is simply unwind, take the unit off, put the unit on. And of course, it's not just these face plates that we have. You have your fixed jaws and your opening jaws, so we have other applications that we can switch this unit to operate. So it's not just a fixed fixturing like you see here. You can have your jaws and your fixed jaw to allow us to do the cast irons that we use it for. So it's really, really, really robust like that.
Is it possible? Can we see one of the other?
Yeah, of course you can.
Other units with two stations?
With the 2 stations. Yeah. Steve, what you can see here is the solution that you were just mentioning. We have other needs. So the fixture can do this for us. So we've got our fixed jaws that we use here. We have an inlet and an outlet pattern, which we use for either end of our valves. This allows us different shapes. So we have one whole face, which we can have our fixturing put into, and a whole different unit to do the other version. So again, we can just unwind, these two come off, the other replacements go on, and we can now switch over. Alongside that, we also operate the jaw system. So we've got a fixed jaw in both of these, and then we've got your 2 moving jaws. So this is the first profile. So the great thing with this is that every casting is very slightly different. They've been making castings for us for many, many years, and they do an absolutely brilliant job, and we get very few problems. But the castings do tend to have different tolerances, different shapes. So for us, the flexibility of being able to ensure, regardless of what supply comes in, this will allow us to fix it up, run the part, which is absolutely brilliant. So if I show you what we do with these, so what you'll notice is one jaw moves and the other is fixed. So that's really, really, really important, because you're trying to think to yourself, well, I've got 2 parts, I've got tightening to do, I've only got 1 pair of hands. So the great thing is you just undo a certain proportion, the lower jaw drops, undo the second proportion, the other jaw drops. And all we've really done is to actually machine our profile once we know what we require, put in our stops, which are hardened, put in our carbide teeth, and away we go. So it's really, really, really useful for that. And then once we, again, switching out from the inlets as we are now to an outlet version, what we do is we unwind, and that all comes straight off. So again, we'll keep these numbers. So we've got for us inlets and it's face 0. So again, like I was saying earlier, we've got the white panels, we know that's 0. These are all numbered as well, and you can just simply switch on, you put the other version back on that you want, lock it into place, and that's ready to go to the next side. So it's as quick and as simple as that. I guess the thing that takes the longest is just removing your 2 bolts from the middle to remove your fixed jaw. Once that's off, give your faceplate a clean. You've got a little divider in here which helps to keep all of the grease inside the actual unit and any of the oils and coolants and everything else outside. But once you give that a clean, you fix your center jaw, tighten it up, put your 2 jaws on, dip them into place, and that is
The next loading.
the next load ready to go. So the guys can switch between different versions. Like I said to you, for us, changing this over is about 10 minutes. So start to finish, 10 minutes. I guarantee you, if you were to clean down a bed of a machine and then stone it, put your vices on, line them up, clock them in, do all the things you've got to do, I'd have had this 3/4 machined already with parts.
You would, wouldn't you?
And that's the advantage. And I can take this whole system and put it into another machine with this exact chick system inside, and it's straight in, program in, and away we go.
Yeah, because as you've shown us where you need to, if there's a bit of downtime on this machine, you've got a duplicate machine over there, although a slightly newer version, you'll just lift the chick unit out and put it straight in there, slip in, small clock in at the top, put your white dot on the back, and away you go.
And your repeatability is fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Bear in mind that this unit has been in for probably nearly 10 years, not quite as old as the machine,
Yeah.
but it's been in for about the same time. Again, these are all the original pieces of kit that you sent to us when we originally bought the unit. They're all the original machining, and the only thing we really have to change is every now and then the carbide units will just split and tear.
Yeah, bit
We
of
just
wear.
unscrew them, put the new carbide teeth in, and away we go again.
Yeah.
And the repeatability is still there every single time. So
Yeah.
it's absolutely fantastic, really.
And it's good, isn't it? Because there's no real jaw lift in there. You prove the fact that although this is a fairly hard and abrasive cast material, you've got an aluminium jaw. You're having no issues at all. So you're still hitting. Because I've seen you machine these anyway. So you're still hitting these hard, and you're actually using ceramic inserts and things
Ceramic
like that,
inserts.
taking some really big cuts.
Really
aren't
big,
you?
heavy cuts. And the thing is, although I've shown you taking the back out, it really is a simple case of just making sure that you've got everything lined back up again. And as you see, the top jaw, so it goes in reverse, goes down. So that's now fixed into place. Lower jaw comes up. Obviously, I would be more prudent in checking to make sure it's sat back properly. But that is that particular set of vices. Again, repeating, we just machine exactly the same profile a second time, and away we go. So yeah, we hit these quite hard, cast iron to 50 grades. So for us to be able to drill all the way through, this is a solid casting. It hasn't got a core or anything in it as some other ones do. So we are drilling all the way through to finish the machining off, to link all of our holes up. And this whole unit gives us the stability that we would be able to machine that at the speed and feed you would expect on a solid grade tombstone. This gives us exactly the same usability.
Yeah, and I say I certainly saw, as you mentioned, that with opening the jaws, you're certainly utilising the third hand, as we call it.
Yes.
Where although you're in a vertical position, you can actually just unload one component per time without any issues or anything falling out, can't you? So,
and this is where having your expertise to say, this is how I've seen other people use it, just understand that you don't want this particular centre jaw to be too big, because you then got to get a bigger and bigger hand spread. So keeping that centre jaw, a nice small slim profile, and then you're only machining a small amount up here. Your pressure from here to here is exactly the same. So regardless of where you machine this base, you're still getting exactly the same damping force, because we don't see any of these, as you say, lifting off. And having an understanding of make that one slimline, keep your profiles top and bottom a little bit small, keep your hand and fixturing nice and close, using that third hand. It's really straightforward.
yeah,
It's
and
really easy.
you're never really leaning on anything as well. That's the other thing, isn't it?
Absolutely not.
Because the way the system works,
Yes.
as we say, there's no Tommy bars on the top. You're not having to really put a load of force in, because the forces are already there, aren't they?
They are. And it keeps it there. And I would suggest that other than loading error, we've never had any of these actual parts come out of the machine. And we've certainly had no failures from any of the fixturing itself. None of it's failed whatsoever.
Great, thank you, Paul. I mean, you can obviously see now that you're getting really good productivity out of your chick.
Yes.
And using it to, where you can actually go with it. Some of the other systems that you've mentioned already that we've looked at with you, is it possible to go and have a look at some of those as well?
Yeah, we've got a really good example on the other machine. So I run you through how we
move
set
over
up
there.
a few different types, and we'll walk you through how that works.